Ah, nah. Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. You know how it is, right? Like sometimes Umineko lives on your laptop that you never use, and then you try to turn on your laptop, and then you boot everything up, and then suddenly like the mouse gets like stuck in this like bottom right corner of your screen, and then like it doesn't move, so you have to shut your computer off and then like turn it on again, and then when you turn the computer on again, it's like whoopsies, Steam needs to download a 100 um whatever kilobyte update, so you gotta wait for that before Umineko wants to boot up, etc, etc, etc. Hello Club, hello Silas, hello Adri. How is everyone doing on this lovely morning? It's my morning, but probably not your morning. But yes, how is everyone? um oh shit, I should finish my conversation with someone else though. Hold up. Hold up. I'm so sorry. This is my problem. I started chatting with someone while Steam was updating. This is my issue. My fucking problem. Okay. We're locked in. We're locked the fuck in. Hello, hello. Unprofessional. I know it's so bad. Okay, but yes, we're having a great time with Umineko today. I might take a break and brew some tea in the middle because I just realized I'm running out of my beverage, and you know how it is. You can't run out of your beverage on an Umineko stream. Um, but yes, let's play Umineko. Yay! Um, load this shit up. Okay, wait. Honestly, okay, we're at the beach now. The beach. Honestly, let's add another one. Let's hang out at the beach. Um. Hi, Rivoku. Hi. Also, for whatever reason, my OBS got disconnected from my account for whatever reason, so like my chat isn't showing up on my screen. So I have chat open on like the other screen, but like because it's like further away, I think I forget to like look at it. But yeah. The beach episode. Yes, Umineko party time. Yay. Oh my god, Badler's thinking with his head. So, on the 10th twilight, the journey ends. And you reach the Golden Land. You really are diligent, Maria. You did a great job writing this all down. I was thinking, okay, because, okay, I have a con this weekend, right? And that means I need to be, like, up and at it, like, early and on time. And my sleep schedule has been chaotically bad. And I was, like, actually thinking of canceling all of my streams this week. But I was like, no, I can do my Umineko stream. I can wake up, before 8 and, like, do it, like, and, like, have that be, like, have, like, 8 hours of sleep preceding that, right? Like, sometimes I do my Umi streams at 8 in the morning, but it's, like, I stayed up all night, and then like I'm about to hit the sack when I end stream. But I was like, I'm strong. I can do it. I can flip my sleep schedule around. I can keep straight Umineko, and I did it. I woke up at 6:30 today. Fuck yeah. Anyways, yeah. We love to see it. I forget a lot, so I always write things down. Based? Me? I do that too, Maria. Mama told me to. There was a notebook inside the handbag Maria was always carrying around. Wow, I barely noticed her bag. and Beatrice's epitaph was copied onto it. Thanks to that, we were all able to challenge the puzzle of the epitaph while walking down this beach. Jessica and the rest had already tried to solve it several times, and had already gotten bored with it. Me and hashtag my notes against the world. Real as fuck, real as fuck. However, since this was a first for me, I was so excited that I couldn't stop. Oh my god, Fowler is excited! He's kinda cute. It really tickled my sense of adventure. Let's start with the first line. Behold the Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown. Where was grandfather's hometown again? I heard that before the war, the Ushiromiya family had a mansion near Odawara. Which makes you want to know which Sweetfish River flows through Odawara, right? Yeah, because that river would be the starting place. Anyone searching for the Golden Land would head down that and search for the key. What's this river in Odawara? Does it have sweetfish swimming in it? If you're looking for sweetfish in Odawara, it'd have to be Hayakawa. It's famous for its mountain stream fishing. I hate fish. Maria, you'll understand when you get a bit older. Is this some kind of innuendo? What does this mean? You'll understand when you get older. Lick, 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 salty roasted sweet fish. Yummy. Even though we just ate, I'm getting hungry again. Yeah, George, you're stupid little smile. No, wait, but it's so true. You know, okay, one of Miss Tanabe's funniest volume and author's notes was that, like, she was like, man, I'm like finding that, like, I don't like to eat sweet stuff nearly as much as I used to. Is this what growing up is all about? Am I gonna prefer fish to meat one day? And I was like, I started laughing because I was like, fish is better than meat. What are you talking about? Sorry. Shall I bring you a biscuit? Oh, sorry. That's not what I meant. Don't mind it. Shannon-chan was faithfully keeping us company since she didn't have any afternoon chores for a while. Just got back from quest to fetch ice cream! Oh my god! You have ice cream? What flavor did you get? Oh my god! Common Battler Insanity, real? This is so good! I would have thought that, okay, you know what? Equals the Sweetfish River? Question mark? So says Jessica and George. I would have thought that since she's a servant, accompanying us would force her to take care of us and tire her out. But that didn't seem to be the case for her. On the contrary, she seemed to enjoy joining in on a conversation with people close to her age. When I asked, I heard that she was the sort of worker whose room and board were supplied by her employer. Company tonus, shit. Girl, do you have a union? Ice cream quest, real. So normally the only person close to her in age was Jessica. Yeah, I can imagine how that might be pretty dull. They love to make a huge deal about how the seagulls aren't crying and then make the seagulls cry in a song. Really makes you think, So true. Okay, so I get that the sweetfish-filled river near Odawara is Hayakawa. In that case, we've got to go down it. Do you find anything if you head down Hayakawa River? If you follow it downstream, you'll arrive at the ocean. You know, Shannon knows something for once. Good job, Shannon! Of course! You'd reached the mouth of the river! And the third line of the epitaph was, as you travel down it, you will see a village. By the way, since long ago the mouths of rivers have been key points in transportation, and large cities tend to be built there. That'd be the next checkpoint. It's a pretty good theory. Just like you guessed, there's an old city there. It was very prosperous in ancient times. That's where Odawara Castle is. If golems have no fans, it means I am dead. She's so smart. When I was in college for graphic design, we had a bunch of them trying to steal our fries. Our fries? Friends? Is that fries or friends? I'm guessing that's fries on campus. I think that... Wow, that's crazy. You used to go to school? You used to go to school, Shannon? I thought you were like indentured servant for life type thing. You got to go on a field trip?
I think I might have gone to Odawara Castle on a field trip once. It was a really wonderful castle.
Yeah, I also went there. Even though I live in a Western style house, it's true that Japanese people feel calmer with a Japanese layout. Castles are boring. Theme parks are better. I see. Okay. If we find the goal, the great battler Sama will generously reserve a whole theme park for a day and let you play in it. He's so funny. Still, Odawara Castle, huh? The hidden gold of Odawara Castle. Ho! It's actually starting to sound pretty good. Fries. The seagulls took my friends away. Well, we figured that out that much 2 years ago. Get with it, battler. The village down the river where the sweet fish swim in Odawara. We figured it was probably somewhere near Odawara Castle. Come on, man. The problem is the next line. Okay. Let's see where Battler's strange reasoning can take him. Everyone watch as Battler clowns. Jessica grinned broadly. She seemed to be implying that she would have solved the puzzle long ago if it was that easy. Damn it! I'll definitely find it and keep it all for myself! Battler got serious. His face got serious. The fourth line. In that village, look for the shore. The two will tell you of. I don't know what it means by the two, but anyway, the shore. But what does it mean by the shore? No, wait. Is there any place near there with shore or kishi in its name? Shinra Mention! Sorry. His thinking face, his serious thinking face. It can't be related to going somewhere in person because you gotta stay on the island for the events of the game. Literally, Clef. I love him in Going to Cry. This song makes me want to cry. They're so innocent. They're having fun with puzzles on the beach.
I've heard there's a place called Sugakishi in Odawara.
Huh? Wow! You sure know a lot about it. What could that mean? Shannon-chan, are you trying to solve the riddle and get the gold too? That makes us rivals! Oh my god, Shannon!
It's not like I'm interested in gold. It's just that George-sama told me about it before.
That's because we reached the same conclusion 2 years ago. We even went to the trouble of laying out a map and looking it up. It was about 5 kilometers to the north of Odawara. We definitely found a place called Sugakishi there. However, after that, we get stuck. The 5th line doesn't say where the key is hidden in that place. Maria-chan, could you read it for us?
There sleeps the key to the Golden Land.
I couldn't read it! Sugakishi's probably large, and there wasn't ever any house built there by the Ushiromiya family. Not much we can do to find a key in such a vast area without any hints. You're right. And without the key, we can't advance to the next line. George Aniki, what kind of place is Sugakishi? Her blushing. She's everything. Let's see. I've never been there, so I don't really know. But according to the map, it's in the mountains. I'm pretty sure it was at the base of Mount Asama. Something doesn't feel right. You'd expect a riddle pointing the way to hidden gold be a bit more exact. I get the feeling that even the part about Sogakishi was a mistake. Well, I think it could be Sogakishi. It could be talking about some house that grandfather lived in when he was a kid that we don't know about. After all, the first line mentioned his beloved hometown. Shannon, you served grandfather alcohol and stuff lots of times, right? Hasn't he ever talked to you about his past?
The master almost never speaks of the past. However, he talks of the Great Kanto earthquake as though it was someone else's story. So he may have been living far away from the Kanto area.
Interesting. I like that detail. And Kinzo talked about the Great Kanto earthquake as though it were someone else's story. What a fascinating way to phrase that. So he may have been living far away from the Kanto area. The Ushiromiya family may have been living in Odawara, but not all of the branch families were. His grandfather often called himself part of a branch family, the least connected to the successor. And that means the beloved hometown might not even be Odawara at all. I've never heard anything about grandfather's hometown, and I doubt he'd actually tell me if I asked. If the so-called beloved hometown isn't referring to the Ushiromiya family's roots, then the Odawara theory is wrong from the beginning. A juicy tidbit. Of course, this doesn't completely remove the possibility that it was Sogakishi. For example, perhaps he lived in Odawara when he was very young, but then moved far away later. I don't understand what you're all talking about. Maria had been completely left out of the conversation, and she now sat puffing out her cheeks in boredom. Aww. So basically, if we can't even agree on the starting point for this dice game of gold, we're totally stuck. But wait! After the first 5 lines, the thing we end up finding is a key, right? Even if you don't have a key, it's always possible to bust through a door. Can't we just skip the first 5 lines and start figuring out the rest? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh well, we're just wasting time anyway. Let's hear the rest of Battler's reasoning.
But in the next part, It gets dark really fast.
Shannon-chan frowned lightly, after looking back at Maria's notebook to recall what was written there. Yeah, I was forced to agree.
On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. It sure does get horrible quickly. On the second twilight, it says to tear apart the 2 who are close. Does that mean to make them break off their loving relationship? Divorce! Fuck yeah! Divorce win!
Wait, what's my stream title today? Did I change my stream title? Is my stream title? Oh no, wait, oh my god, I literally, okay, I must have changed it, but not updated it. Hold on, I need to update this, because my stream title, was actually, break up with your shitty transphobic boyfriend. And then we say we stream 5. And then we changed the category. I changed it, but then I had to restart my computer, so I forgot. So I guess it didn't update. Bet. We ball. Forced into Umineko art. So true. It sure gets horrible quickly. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The game's genre, it's fine. It's fine. Literally, don't worry about it. It's actually gonna stay nice and peaceful forever. If you think about it, if we stop here, we quit while we're ahead, if you think about it.
Or does it mean to literally tear them apart? I don't know, but either way, it's pretty disgusting.
He's drawn Beatrice for me! Yeah! My Beatrice, my zero context Beatrice picture.
Even if we set that second line aside, it mentioned 6 people for the first twilight, then 5 people for the 4th through 8th twilights. So at least 11 people must be sacrificed.
Maria's smirk.
There's sacrifices to revive Beatrice! I see. Sacrifices to restore the witch. Yeah, that's what it mean. Near the end, the witch will be revived on the 9th twilight. That last part is guaranteed. On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive and none shall be left alive. So everyone will die in the end.
And after that, the 10th twilight is the goal line. Not sure how you're supposed to reach the Golden Land if everyone's dead by then.
Depending on how you interpret it, the traveler who holds the key may or may not be included in the, quote, none shall be left alive part.
Is a key even a key? Can a key be a person?
But at the end, there's something pretty interesting. After reaching the goal, the witch gives out 4 treasures.
Oh, oops.
One shall be all the gold. The problem is the next one. It says the dead souls will be resurrected, right? Doesn't that sound like it means everyone who died in the earlier lines? If you put it like that, then the part about reviving lost love might refer to the pair torn apart on the 2nd twilight.
That's right! And the 4th one refers to the 9th twilight. The 4th treasure is putting the witch revived on the 9th twilight to sleep. You know, I feel like I know too much. I feel like I know too much. I know too much from watching Umi 101. I feel like, you know, it's no longer insightful for me to say, wow, this sounds like some time loop shit, because I know it's some time loop shit.
If we put a happy spin on all this, it'll be hectic with people dying and breaking up all over the place, but it'll all be made right in the end. The awakened witch will sleep again, and everything will be like it was at the start, except with a huge pile of gold.
You know, maybe that's what happened to Kinzo. Maybe like Kinzo went through all of this, except now he has a huge pile of gold. And memories of Beatrice. The witch must be pretty busy, what with all the killing, reviving, breaking up, and reuniting people. Not to mention waking up and sleeping. Sheesh, just when the tale of the hidden gold was getting interesting, it all gets pretty dubious once the witch starts showing up. I heart time loop shit. It's time loop shit? Unfortunately, you do know too much. Oh yeah, baby! Too true! I laughed along with Jessica. After all, the idea of a witch was just too ridiculous. Of course, once we started laughing like that, Maria, who believed in the witch, got angry. The witch is incredible! She can do anything with magic! Even kill! Even bring back to life! Even give love! Even take it! She can fly in the sky! Can become invisible! Can even make gold and bread out of nothing! Dang, my bad. We were just joking. Jessica apologized, sticking out her tongue, but Maria didn't accept it. She grabbed her notebook back out of my hands and, opening to some other pages, tried to prove that the witch existed. Those pages had colorful drawing of witches on them, and well conveyed the fantastical image Maria had of witches. It wasn't the normal sinister image of a crooked-nosed hag flying around on a broom, but a dreamlike person with unnatural powers who could do anything and wore a beautiful dress. Maria kins Beatrice, so true. So be nice, you have to be nice. It was just what you would expect from an imaginative young girl. Flitting through the sky, crossing a rainbow, dancing around all night with a teacup and a teapot that would never get empty no matter how much you poured out of it. With a flourish of her staff, the stars in the sky would become candy and pour down, and flowers that produced sweets would bud by the roadside. To Maria, witches were the only concept that could embody the magical dream that so captivated her. As she grew older, it was the last remaining thing that could give her richness to her dull and plain everyday life. That's why Maria believed in witches. She didn't want that dream of hers to be tarnished. That's why she didn't want anyone to tarnish the epitaph, which affirmed the existence of witches. Because the witch named Beatrice is Maria's dream. To Maria-chan, the epitaph isn't a guide to the hidden gold, but magic to revive the witch. Yeah, she doesn't care about the gold. Who gives a shit about the gold? It's all about the witch. So, it was the single link between Maria and the witch. I'm going to start fighting things. Maria was very angry and clung to Jordaniki. Jessica and I scratched our heads and apologized. It might not be possible to smooth things over again like the time she got mad in front of the portrait. Maria didn't seem willing to be easily consoled. Unlike Jessica and I, who hung our heads wondering what to do, Shannon-chan timidly opened her mouth.
Maria-sama, did you know? There's a ghost story about Beatrice that has been passed down amongst the servants.
Yeah, that's right. Shannon, tell us about it. I don't really know, but it's apparently pretty famous among the servants. What is this? A ghost story?
Yes, it seems it's a story from before we were born. I also heard about it from my mother. Yes. It has been passed down since the time of the mansion's construction.
Let's take some notes. I feel like I forgotten about the notes. Everyone's focused on the gold, but Maria cares about the revival of the witch. Oh, there's another part where I should write. It's like killing and reviving, tearing apart relationships, and bringing them back together, etc. Shannon tells tale. Okay, well, we'll see what the tale is.
The servants of that time whispered that the mansion had two masters, one of the day and one of the night.
The tale that Shannon told was just like a typical campfire ghost story. If there was a forest with a witch living inside it, then of course the witch would come pay the mansion a visit from time to time. I need to, like, start a journal for the spoilery thoughts I have while watching these streams. You should! You should! Because this is, like, essentially, like, you replaying the game, right? And, it, like, you can notice all the details that, like, you didn't notice before. Ghost story, yay! At some point, this ghost story naturally sprouted up between the servants.
When people do the rounds a second time to check doors, windows, and locks that were supposedly closed, they find some of them left open. Lights that were supposed to be off were turned on, and lights that were supposed to be on went out. Things left lying around would disappear, and things would appear when no one had any memory of putting them there. When any of these things happened, the old servants would say that the witch had visited the mansion, invisible, and was playing pranks. Ugh! See? She exists! Beatrice exists!
Yeah, she exists. Long ago, it was always right before leaving for school that I wasn't able to find my bag and stuff. Maria puffed out her chest with an as though this was final proof of the witch's existence. If I opened my mouth, Maria would probably be hurt again, so I didn't. Smart battler, smart battler. Sometimes it's not your turn to speak. I mean, you hear this kind of story everywhere. Depending on the place, they might blame it on a dwarf or an elf. The only difference is that they call it a witch on this island. Of course, walking around a vast, elegant mansion at night would be a little unsettling. It's an island devoid of people. Yeah, no, I would get so freaked out, like, not gonna lie. Since the mansion's so drafty, walking around on the night of a thunderstorm would certainly be eerie.
In addition, some servants have also seen will-o'-the-wisps and glittering butterflies dancing around. Kanon-kun also saw something like that when he went patrolling one night. And recently, you often hear servants talking about strange footsteps heard inside the mansion near midnight. We've whispered together that the Beatrice-sama in the portrait sometimes makes herself invisible and walks through the mansion. It happened a while ago, but even I have heard footsteps while patrolling at night that resembles these stories.
Phew, that's scary.
But there's nothing to be afraid of. Beatrice-sama is another ruler of the mansion, separate from the master. So there's no need to be unnaturally afraid. If you respect her, I hear she won't do anything bad.
However, she can be quite terrifying if you don't respect her, right?
Correct. I've heard that just before I began working here.
Ghost story of Beatrice wandering the mansion invisible. Before Shannon was employed. Just really quick, I just want to look at when Shannon was employed. I know I wrote this down as somewhere. Or did I not write it down somewhere? I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Wow, I don't write down the shit that I care about. This is so sad.
Someone who spoke badly about Beatrice-sama fell down the stairs and quit after receiving a large injury to their bag. Because of that, there was a rumor between the servants that Beatrice-sama's anger had been brought down upon this person.
My Discord is blooping. Let me make myself busy.
Anger will definitely be brought down upon Battler and Jessica.
Yeah. Anger will be brought down upon you. I'm sorry. I don't want her anger brought down upon me. I apologize, Maria. Of course, I also apologize to the witch. I'm sorry, Beatrice-sama. Please forgive an outsider's nonsense. I'll apologize as well. I'm sorry, Beatrice-sama. Will the witch be able to forgive us now? Maria's still mad. Don't know. Witches are fickle, so they forgive when they want to, and don't when they don't. No good? Maria-chan, isn't there some kind of good luck charm that could prevent Battler-kun and Jessica-chan from suffering Beatrice-sama's wrath? Maybe something that can block against magic? By relying on Maria, who was proud of knowing the most about witches, George was trying to revive her self-esteem. Once again, I've gotta admire his ability to calm kids down. After taking a moment to cross her arms and seriously ponder whether there might be a charm that could save us, she started flipping through the pages in her notebook. Interesting. Oh yeah, her notebook. Someone spoke badly of Beatrice and fell down the stairs. Hashtag Beatrice's wrath. Maria's journal with pictures, witches, yippee. But there also seemed to be quite a few pages that looked like they'd come from a book on black magic. Maria solemnly considered a group of these pages which contained things that looked like magic circles. Apparently, grandfather wasn't the only one with a black magic hobby. When Maria finally found what she was looking for, she snapped the notebook shut and threw it in her handbag. She then began fishing through that bag's contents. Hashtag her bag. There seemed to be various jumbled up things in there. After a while, she took out various pieces of junk, although they were probably important magical items to Maria. And they put so much emphasis on George's being good with kids, it sounds like a cope sometimes. Like, I don't know what happens, but the more you insist, the higher my eyebrows get. I can't wait for you to find out. I can't wait for you to find out. This is one of the things I know from watching Silas's Umi 101 video, but I think if you intend on watching all my streams, you shouldn't watch the Umi 101 video. Maybe you can watch it after I finish episode 1 as like a recap. And repeatedly threw them back in, saying they were wrong. It was all a little humorous, just like when Doraemon, they censored it, but it's funny. When Doraemon took out the wrong tool. Finally, she seemed to discover what she was looking for. With a face that was unimaginably cheering when compared to the intense expression she'd worn until now, she held those out to Jessica and me. Ugh. I grabbed it and saw that it was a very cheap-looking charm. It looked like a bracelet made from a plastic rosary with a scorpion-themed medal attached. Consulted it in... Haven't you seen haven't you ever seen those cheap Zodiac themed accessories? The kind you might win in a crane game at an arcade. It really looked like something like that. Bro, did they have crane games in like the 1960s? Like, we're in the 1960s, right? Did they have... I think they had Doraemon, but I'm not sure that they had crane games. Did they have crane games? How old are crane games? Do not watch Umi 101! There were two of them. Probably one for me and one for Jessica. However, the very fact that there were two of them made them feel even more like cheap manufactured goods, making it pretty hard to think of them as magical items. You're giving these to me and Battler?
With these charms, you don't even need to worry about Beatrice, because scorpions have the power to ward off magic.
Huh, really? I didn't know scorpions could do that.
Battler doesn't believe.
I said too much in anger at Maria again! No, Battler! Maria took out her notebook again, pointing out various pages. She went on and on, as she went on and on about the scorpion, how the scorpion had such incredible holy power that it had been used in magic-repelling magical circles since ancient times.
Ah, I've heard about that from some of the other young servants.
Who are the other young servants, Kanan?
Something about how the scorpion is drawn as a magic-repelling symbol in sorcery.
Huh, really?
The scorpion protects against bad magic and calamity.
Oh my god, you know big words, girl. in 1980s. It's 1986. Oh my god, people are so mad at me for getting the year wrong. At first I was like, oh, I'll watch So's Umineko stream vids for one a day for a while, it would be fun. And I just watched the first vid by itself, then just chained all the rest in a row over the weekend. I'm having fun. But also the vibes of I ate all my food at once. No! Oh no.
An emerald brings peace to the heart. Therefore, its effects are twofold.
Where are the emeralds? I don't think they're emeralds. It's true. The scorpion wraps around the emerald and protects it. Yes, that certainly does sound like it would work well. I really wanted to make fun of those worthless-looking charms. Battler, stop it! Stop it, Battler! But as I watched Maria explaining with all of her heart and realized that she'd found them for our sakes, I started to feel like it might actually work, even if it was just a prize from some game center. I'm not mad, I was just laughing. The material quality of the charm didn't matter. What mattered was the strength of her feelings! Yeah, Battler! Even I don't think of myself as the sort of loser who would laugh at something like that. Okay, thank you. I apologize to Beatrice-sama, but even if I do end up getting cursed, I'll be safe now thanks to Maria's charm. Right, Jessica? Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Maria.
Wear it on your arm when you want your heart to be at peace. Put it in your wallet and your money won't decrease. If you hang it from a doorknob, bad things can't get in. It's a really convenient charm.
What an incredible effect. If Maria-sama gives it her confident seal of approval, then it surely must be reliable. Shannon Chen clapped her hands together, and Maria just stuck out her chest. I love his happy face. He's such a day. Yeah. She was totally in a good mood again. It's probably best if we let her lead the conversation a bit longer if it'll keep her in such a good mood.
Come to think of it, she looked a bit bored when we were getting excited about the hidden gold, probably because she couldn't keep up. While eating the cookies Kumasawa-san had baked, Jessica and I asked Maria this and that about black magic. Maria happily chatted away in response to her questions. Each time, George Aniki and Shannon-chan would act surprised or chime in. The clouds in the sky grew darker and darker, but we cousins really enjoyed communicating freely after a year of separation. Did I just feel a drop on my forehead? Huh? I wonder. As George Aniki rubbed his forehead, he looked up at the sky. Considering the color of the sky and the dampness of the air, it wouldn't have been odd for a raindrop to hit him. The wind also seems to have grown a bit stronger. Eh? I didn't feel a drop. Only I didn't. Don't worry, neither did I. Anyway, I'm sure it'll rain so much tonight that everyone will get to feel plenty of raindrops. That's right. Maybe we should head back soon. Shannon-chan looked down at her watch. It was probably well into the evening by now. Is it already time for you to return to your work? Yes. Thank you very much for allowing me to enjoy some time together with you all. Tell Kumasawa-san thanks for the cookies. Okay, everyone. Help out with the cleanup. Shannon-chan declined her help, saying that this was a servant's job, but picking up dropped forks before the waitress is pretty much my purpose in life. Badler is so funny. Badler is so funny. Picking up dropped forks before the waitress is pretty much my purpose in life. We folded up the blanket, gathered up the trash, and helped clean everything up. The trash is getting away! I won't let it escape. I'll grab it before Maria does. I'll grab it. Maria! Don't get your shoes wet. You'll get in trouble. To Maria, chasing after some trash sent flying by the powerful winds was just another game. By the time we finished, the wind was blowing pretty strongly. He's so funny. It's his purpose. Hashtag his purpose. His stupid chivalry. Probably a good time to head back. You've all helped me out a lot. Thank you very much. It looks like you're really out of time. It's okay if you head back first. George Aniki perceived from her hurried appearance that very little of her free time was left. Genji-san's very strict about time. If you don't show up where you're supposed to be at the right time, I bet he'll be pissed. We'll see you later. Do your best with your work. Yes. Then, if you will excuse me. After making a respectful bow, Shannon-chan ran towards the rose garden. Okay, let's head back to the guest house. We can watch TV or something and relax a little. I want to watch TV. Then it's decided. Let's all head back and watch TV together. Maria, who wasn't done having fun, agreed once television was mentioned. We climbed up the gentle stairs and returned to the rose garden. I love, like, the walking. It really helps build a sense of place. The wind had grown very strong, and roses shook through the garden like ripples on the water. Ooh, I can see it in my mind. I can see this in my mind. This might be our last chance to see these beautiful roses. I'll bet tonight's typhoon ruins them. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure, like, when the loop comes back, don't worry, man. These roses might be done in by tonight's winds. You're right. Still, I think the roses are pretty lucky. After all, they got to welcome all of you before the typhoon. All flowers lose their petals eventually, but that means we can admire them even more when they're in bloom. I love the walking. Pathologic enjoyer spotted.
The call-out post.
That's right! Maria, burn this image into your eyes! At this moment, they're the best roses of the year! Burned into eyes. Right then, Maria suddenly clapped her hands. What about my rose? What about the rose I'm supposed to be taking care of? It looked like she remembered something. My rose! The typhoon will send it flying! Oh, you mean that sad-looking rose George Aniki marked with the ribbon? Maria apparently remembered where the rose was. She ran at full speed. The rest of us followed her. Where was that again? I'm sure it was somewhere around here. We searched everywhere around that area, but it was only a single flower among all these roses after all. Even though we knew it was somewhere close by, we weren't able to find it. The winds making up the typhoon's front lines made roses throughout the garden undulate. It was almost like it was teasing us by making the location of Maria's rose impossible to find. Maybe it wasn't here. Let's try spreading out a bit in our search.
Thinking. I get it. You know, you mentioned this in your video about the rose. Like, that's one of the questions you had, and I'm like, yeah, I have this question too. Like, is a rose missing, or is it just like the marker that's missing, right?
Sounds good. Let's go for strength and numbers. What's up, Maria? As we made to split up and search, Maria tugged on my jacket with an unhappy face. You could tell she didn't want us to leave that spot. What is it? What's wrong? My rose is here! It's here! But it's actually not, right? Maybe it was on the other side of the flower bed. If we all look, we'll find it fast, okay?
Maria stomped her feet in irritation.
She pointed at that spot and said it was definitely there, but in actuality, it wasn't.
Oh my god!
Beatrice took it! Beatrice took it!
It's just like the ghost story Shannon was telling. Beatrice Invisible has come to take the rose. It's just Beatrice, don't worry about it. The rose feels kind of important, especially since you mentioned time loop shenanigans. I should really watch my own video. Even so, Maria got mad when we said we were going to search elsewhere. We were at a loss for what to do. For a while, we had to stay near Maria and pretend to search through that rose thicket.
Not here. Not here. Not here. Maybe she's saying that it should be here, but isn't. Maria became increasingly irritated. Oh man! Maria's really losing her temper! Sometimes Maria starts to really care about really pointless stuff. If she gets what she wants, that's okay, but you can't find something that isn't there. That's not good. Just when we were at a loss of what to do, Maria called out in a loud voice. Mama! We could see Aunt Rosa in the direction Maria was waving her hand. Maybe she wanted to look at the garden one more time before the typhoon came, or maybe she had some business at the guest house. Aunt Rosa was coming from the mansion. She quickly noticed her daughter's voice and came over. My, what happened, everyone? Are you looking for something? Look for it! You look for it too! Your rose? We found an unhealthy rose around here and marked it. We tied a candy wrapper around it. But Maria, if I remember correctly, it was growing right in the front and it really stood out, didn't it? Unless it grew legs and ran off somewhere, it must have been somewhere else. Maybe you remembered it wrong. Oh my god, stop gaslighting her. She knows what she saw. How many times do I have to tell you to stop saying ooh, ooh, before you'll understand? Mama will look for it, so stay quiet. I'd never seen Aunt Rosa be anything other than kind and gentle, so her anger surprised me a bit. Aunt Rosa began searching as well, so we went along with her for the time being, but we were already more than sure it wasn't around here. So, it didn't take long for Aunt Rosa to realize that too. Be nice to your neurodivergent kid. Literally! The rose isn't here. Did you mistake this place for somewhere else? There's so many roses around. That's wrong! It is here! Mama doesn't believe! I already believed you and looked hard for it, didn't I? But it isn't here. But it is here! It's here, but then someone must have ripped it out. Anyway, stop saying ooh. What wrong? Who did? Give it back. How should I know? Stop it. Stop saying ooh. Oh my god. Aunt Rosa slapped Maria's left cheek with her palm. In that instant, Maria was shocked into silence. Of course, it was only for an instant. When Maria realized that her wish was being rejected, she started yelling even louder. Didn't I tell you to stop that weird habit? That's why all the kids in your class make fun of you. Cut it out. Once again, her palm slapped Maria's cheek. This is insane. This time, she didn't go silent. She choked as she started crying and began to bawl in an increasingly loud voice. Aunt Rosa was clearly irritated and lifted her hand once more to try and shut her daughter up. Aunt Rosa? Now, she's just a little kid, so there's no reason to get so serious. I tried to cut in with a bitter smile, rubbing my hands together. God, the image of Battler like rubbing his hands together in the middle of all this is insane. It's insane. Are you picturing it? Like Battler like you don't no need to get so serious. But Aunt Rosa glared at me with a serious face, and I realized that I should have stayed out of this. I'm sorry, but could the rest of you go back to your room for a bit? To have a little talk with Maria. Nobody believes in my rose, even though it was here. Look for it! Look for it! Here! It was here! But it's not here! So, you must have confused this place for someone else, right? Then it disappeared. Give it up.
Why? 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 Why?
I don't know that. So stop saying.
Oh my god, oh my god, Aunt Rosa once again, look, your daughter is going through it so hard, she's sobbing and crying, and you cannot even exit your own headspace for like a second to process that. That's crazy. That's crazy. It was strong enough to knock Maria over.
Hey, Aunt Rosa, even if she is your daughter, violence isn't the answer.
I stepped between them to protect Maria, who was still on the ground, crying. I knew that as an outsider, problems between parent and child were none of my business. But I wasn't brought up to just silently observe something like this. Don't you think it's weird, Battler-kun? Are there any girls at your school who mutter,
Well, I am in high school, but for an elementary schooler, I think saying ooh is pretty cute.
Cute? Saying ooh is cute? Cute? My careless words seem to have earned me Aunt Rosa's wrath. She grabbed my collar with a terrifying expression. Oh my god. Yeah. Badler's a real one. Like, Badler may talk about, like, grabbing people's breasts, but, like, he also gets in between, like, child abuse, so, like, what's the deal? What's the, like, you know, like, I think he might be valid, you know? Yeah, probably not a surprise to anyone, but yeah, child abuse mentioned. The tone shift here is so crazy and jarring. It's really good. Hashtag my Uminekos. Amazing scene for real. I love how they play with tonal shifts. Literally, feeling is so bad. Like, they were literally just having fun on the beach. I got drywall and eat it. You're doing great voice acting, BTW. Very good Rosa and Maria. What the fuck? No, it's crazy. Like, I felt this when I was watching Arcane too, right? Where I feel like kids' tantrums aren't given, like the justice, right? Like, I don't know if anyone's watched Arcane here, but, like, the, like, first or second episode, I think maybe the second one, where, like, basically, Powder, when she, like, blows everyone up and, like, fucks everything over, and then, like, Vi, like, blows up at her, and, like, she starts, like, ugly sobbing, like, or no, when she wanted to go with Vi, right, to the factory, and, like, she, like, crashes out in her room, and, like, she's, like, ugly sobbing, I was like, yes, actually, I remember crying exactly like this when I was a kid, right? Like, it just literally felt like the end of the world to me. Like, it felt like people just didn't get it, right? Like, I had to, like, yell and, like, scream because people just didn't get it, right? And I was like, yes, like, they like, the voice actor just nailed that. And I feel like, I like, before watching that scene, I can't remember another scene where I was like, yes, that is exactly what, like, crying like a child is like. But, like, I remember it so clearly. Like, I don't know about the rest of you, but, like, I remember, like, being a kid and, like, crying and sobbing. Like, I remember it. It's, like, so, like, it's, like, I can't even remember what I was crying about, but I remember, like, crashing out, right? She's literally just a 9-year-old autistic girl. It makes me cry and weep. Maria Defense Squad. Yeah, I agreed. I think your Maria in particular is great. Really like how you render the ooh-oohs. The worst thing working in a public space is seeing a child crashing out and their parents is just not handling it. Maria's meltdowns are really, really real. Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, I get it, right? Like, I remember being that age and, like, feeling that. Don't say such nonsense. Do you know how old Maria is? She's 9! She's a 4th grader, not a kindergartner. She still makes that sound during class. Don't you get it? Do you know what they say about this kid when they bully her? Thanks to this weird habit, she still hasn't made a single friend. Don't turn your eyes from reality and carelessly call Maria cute. Think more seriously about this kid's future. I told you, stop making that sound. Didn't I tell you to stop it? Aunt Rosa struck Maria's quivering head, from which an increasingly unhappy voice was rising. I tried to stop it, but Aunt Rosa pushed me away. My back hit George Anarchy. A long time ago, Aunt Rosa also thought of it as nothing more than one of Maria-chan's baby words. But now that it hasn't been fixed even midway through elementary school, she's been worrying about it a lot. How she talks isn't really that big a deal, right? She'll never make it as an adult if she's like that. So, even though it isn't fun to watch, George, die. This is a problem between parent and child. Die, George. Well, even I get chewed out by Mom all the time because of how I talk. When they put it that way, maybe even a scene as painful as this isn't something an outsider like me should put in on. No, you are right, Battler! You are right, Battler! Battler-kun, when you were a kid, didn't you have any bad habits that you couldn't fix, that got you into trouble? Well, 1 or 2. On Parents' Day once, I kept getting yelled at in front of everyone, and it was embarrassing as all hell. Well then, you can understand how the 2 of them must feel right now. I'm sure they don't want us to be here now. You understand too, don't you, Jessica-chan? George, die challenge! George, die challenge! I don't think anyone likes to be seen when they're being scolded. No! If you leave, Rosa is going to feel more at ease, like beating her daughter. Let's go. We'll return to the guest house. Then after Maria-chan comes back, let's welcome her as if nothing happened. That's probably for the best, isn't it? We thought George Eniki's point was probably a reasonable one. I don't know, and we may have been eager to use that reasonable-sounding argument as justification to retreat from this heart-rending scene. Jessica and I nodded at George Eniki and we all left. God, imagine being Maria right now. Imagine being Maria right now. Like, you thought Badler was gonna stop and help you, and then, like, these other people who you were just having a nice time with and, like, hanging out with, convince him that, like, yeah, you know, it's fine, you can just leave her with her mom, right? Who is hitting her, who is beating her, okay? Fuck that guy, fuck George, everyone hates George. Fuck this. We called towards Maria, telling her that we were going to head to the guest house, but she didn't seem to hear, and we felt sort of guilty and shameless after saying it. Yeah. In that case, look by yourself as much as you want. Mama doesn't care. I'll look for it. I'll look for it by myself. Even if Mama doesn't care. Have it your way. After blasting her with those last few words, Rosa spun on her heels and quickly returned to the mansion. Maria probably viewed that as a cold gesture meant to injure, but that wasn't Rosa's intention. It was because the hand with which she had so emotionally struck Maria's cheek was still numb. It was because if she stayed there screaming, she might again be taken over by her emotions and continue slapping her daughter's cheek over and over. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's look. It's good if you realize that you need time to cool down, right? I think it's good that she realizes that. But like, it's even better if you can realize that before you start hitting your daughter like 4 times in a row. I think it would be great if you could start realizing that like before, right? Maria! I feel so normal about this as someone who was always abused by my parents for being too visibly autistic too, and everyone looked away to pretend it wasn't happening. It's heart-wrenching. The wind began to blow stronger and stronger, and every once in a while, a raindrop would fall on her forehead. However, Maria couldn't leave that place. Not until she found that poor wilting rose. It had definitely been there. Even so, it wasn't. Even though she knew the place, and even though it had been there, it wasn't. No, I feel like I'm so cooking with this. The Maria or the it's like the ghost story, right? Maria or but Beatrice took it. Beatrice is pranking, except this is like a really mean prank, like how it panned out, right? Parents of autistic children be like, can't you be normal like me, who's triggered by a normal amount, but who's triggered a normal amount by a noise? Literally would have been awesome if she had not done that. Literally. Maria bitterly stared at the place it was supposed to be and thought frantically. Maybe the angle I'm looking from is wrong. Maybe the height I'm looking from is wrong. While gazing at a single point, Maria stood up, changed her position, and continued to stare. The wind was getting stronger and stronger, but Maria kept on looking for that rose in front of the flower bed. What if, like, she's just looking? What if it's, like, there? What if she can touch it, you know? Oh no, baby, if it's raining, you should go in. Okay, hold on. I just finished drinking my beverage, so I'm gonna go up and get some tea. So I'm gonna go on a water break really fast. Everyone can, like, I don't know, go to the bathroom, whatever. Sorry, I'll be right back. This shit is so crazy. Like, I was, like, thinking about it, like, when I was getting my tea, but it's like, genuinely, I cannot remember what I was crying about as a kid, right? Like, the memory is so, like, there's one particular memory where, like, I remember, like, howling into, like, my dad's pillow in his bedroom, and I don't remember what I was crying about. Like, I think maybe, like, it was definitely one of, I think it was, like, one of my parents, but I forget what, like, happened entirely. I just remember the crying, right? Like, I remember, like, howling and screaming, and I had a piece of bubble gum in my mouth that I was chewing, but I was like crying so hard and I was like making so much saliva that the bubble gum had started to like dissolve in my mouth, and I was sobbing, and then like um when I like got up from the pillow, like you could just like see the stains on the pillow, like where my eyes were, and then like my nose, and then like my mouth, and it was like just like wet and you could see it, and like I don't know, but like, what was I crying about? It's like question, question, question. I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, but yeah, it's so crazy that like, like Rosa feels so entitled to, like, like, you know, hitting her daughter, right? Like the thing about Badler, right? And like, I think the thing about like what 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 I respect about him, right, is that like, he he's an outsider, right? So in some ways it's easier for him. But also like, he's like he's a little young, but he's like a tall and kind of imposing guy, right? But like that means nothing to like Rosa. Like it's nothing to her. Like she doesn't care about that. Like she so firmly believes that she has this right to like get mad at her daughter, that like Battler doesn't even phase her at all. Um Anyways, yeah, we have to protect Maria. We literally have to protect Maria. This is crazy. Maria's thinking the angle is wrong. Angle in a metaphorical sense, perhaps. Okay. So we're in a different scene now. It's like Kinzo's like doing his shit. Freak shit. Kinzo noticed the sound of the raindrops beating on the window. It seemed to be pouring down thickly. It's crazy, it's crazy! It had begun to rain later than the weather report had predicted. Kinzo approached the window as if being summoned by the sound of rain. The sound of rain is a sound of silence. That sound feels quieter than any silence. It makes humans remember that in the end, they are alone from the moment they're born to the moment they die. It's so funny. It's so funny when people say that. Like what about the pussy you came from? Like does your mom not count? Like what are you saying with that? Like what do you mean by that? Rosa will literally stop at nothing to abuse her child. Eating ice cream right now, wishing I could share it with Maria. I'm sure Maria would love it. Oh my god, you're also eating ice cream? Wait, what flavor are you having? What flavor are you having? Rain doesn't make me think of that, but sure, literally. You're late, Beatrice. Were those words directed at the rainy sky? There was no one to be seen in the direction of Kinzo's gaze. I think it's so fascinating. There's a very clear through line of things not being visible. Right? Well then, let us begin. Let us begin our banquet of miracles. This island has now been cut off from the world. Now there are none who can interrupt my ceremony. There are many fitting sacrifices for you. 4 of my children, 3 of their companions, 4 of my grandchildren, with a total of 11 as mentioned. Me and my guests and my servants. You may devour as many as you please. The key of fate will select the sacrifices in accordance with the demon's roulette. If that roulette chooses me, even I will become your sacrifice. However, because of that, because I will bet on such madness, I will most assuredly bring forth a grand miracle. Come, devour to your heart's content. I will achieve victory over that roulette. Yes, I'll put everything on the line. First, I'll return the inheritance of the Ushiromiya family. Accept it! Kinzo tore the window open, ripped a golden ring off his finger, and forcefully threw it away. Okay. Kinzo begins the ceremony in his study as the rain falls. And, he throws away his golden ring, symbolizing, did he say the wealth? Oh shit. The inheritance. Well, I think that's what we're meant to sit to understand. At that time, the sound of thunder rang out, giving the illusion that the lightning had accepted the ring. Stop being unseen is a common theme. It's a very apt observation. Also, keep noticing that hashtag my student. Thinky emoji. And when you are resurrected, surely I will be the one who stands witness. I will survive until the end and watch over you as you awaken. So come, Beatrice. Welcome to my banquet. In exchange for all that I have created, show me another miracle just this once. Oh, Beatrice! I think it would be funny if I made it so that only Kinzo said Beatrice like Beatrice. Okay, it's dinner time. Yay! A news ticker popped up on the top of the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told us how municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Yeah. Lol, boy, you literally just said it's a roulette. You cannot be that confident. Literally. Please do, that's literally so funny. Yeah, I think it's funny. Of course, the raindrops beating harshly on the window were even more convincing.
This rain's incredible. Still, when it's raining this hard, it also feels like it might stop at any moment.
You wish! They said the typhoon's moving slow, so it might be like this all day tomorrow. And even a little bad weather stops the boats from coming. It looks like we won't be able to head out on Sunday after all. Just in case, I cleared all outside business from my Monday schedule, and I'm glad I did.
Which means... looks like we'll get to skip school Monday. Living on an island's starting to sound pretty good. Come to think of it, Jessica, you've got to take a boat to school every day, don't you? What do you do when the boats stop running? Do you stay home when it rains and show up late when the wind's blowing? Like King Kamehameha?
If the boats don't come, I stay home. Still, it's not as good as it sounds. Usually, I'm ordered to study by myself, and then it's not that fun with someone standing right behind you watching everything you do.
During the rainy season, does the weather ever stay bad for a long time and make you miss a bunch of days in a row?
That does happen sometimes. Still, I'd get a call from my homeroom teacher every single day who'd sourly guide me on how I should teach myself and what I had to turn in.
She can't skip school as easily as you're imagining, Battler-kun. Battler-kun? She's got to follow the rules for people that travel to school by boat and get a good amount of studying done.
Jessica fucking hates living on an island. Uh-oh, looks like they're all trapped on the island. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing bad has ever happened when people get trapped on an island. It'd actually be easier to just go to school. In my own room, I get distracted and can't concentrate. After being made to do nothing but workbooks for several days straight, it's pretty hard to handle all that mental stress. When I get into college, I really just want to go to some dorm and quickly say goodbye to this inconvenient island.
Okay. By the way, what do you do when the weather's good in the morning but then gets so bad on your way home that the boats are closed? Do you spend the night at school?
That actually happens a lot. Because of that, they've built some lodgings there for people who can't get back to the island they live on. That's where you'd spend the night. Sometimes when it gets really bad, you can't get back home for a few days at a time.
Someone commuting to school or work on a train packed to twice its capacity might carelessly think that commuting by boat would be pretty interesting and fun, but it sounds like it comes with troubles of its own.
You hear thoughtless tourists saying stuff like that all the time. I've had enough of this island life. I really just want to graduate high school and say goodbye to this island.
But there are all dorm schools even for high school, right? Why'd you choose that Nijima school of all places?
I wanted to go to one of those from the beginning. But Mom's always going on about how I need to learn manners and discipline as the successor TM. So I ended up sticking close to home, even for high school. Man, I hate this island. I just want to go live in a city. I don't care if rain or even spears fall from the sky, as long as I can move to a city where I can wear casual clothes and sandals. And can get to a convenience store in less than 5 minutes.
Hold out just a little longer. Just a bit more and you'll graduate high school, right?
I can't wait a little longer. George is always being like, you just handle it, just take it. Like, well, sometimes, if you keep doing that, sometimes that's all you ever do in your life, right? Like, sometimes you gotta be like, no, I gotta get out of here. Jessica stretched out and reclined in the sofa. Maybe it was a bad time slot because there weren't any interesting programs on and we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. After that episode, Maria never returned to the cousin room after all. Aunt Rosa probably took her back to the mansion. It had to be pretty boring for Maria all by herself while the adults had a confusing conversation. We thought we might as well head over to the mansion to see her, but the weather really was awful. George, shut up! George be like, hey, can you just deal with it and shut up? I don't want to think about your problems. And since there wasn't much time until dinner, we stayed where we were. At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered. Yes?
The preparations for dinner are complete.
Is this Sharon?
Please come to the mansion.
Oh, it was Kanon-kun's voice. I see. Kanon's more like, the preparations for dinner are complete. Please come to the mansion. It was Kanonkun's voice. Did he go to all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to get us? Couldn't he have just called us on the telephone? Oh, the wires are down! Oh, fuck! The wires are down! Well, I guess servants at work don't always get to take the most efficient route. Just when I was getting hungry. Let's go. George Aniki turned off the television and stood up. My stomach's been growling for a while. I've always been a huge fan of the main family's dinners. Didn't Goda-san say it was cow steak or something? Oh, I can't wait! Our dinners are always even more fabulous than usual when the family conference comes around. Even I'm looking forward to it. Let's go, let's go! As we left the room, Kanon-kun bowed silently and respectfully. Okay, let's go. Is the rain pretty nasty out there?
Yes. Take care not to get your garments wet.
After seeing the three of us out, Kanon-kun peered into the empty room.
Wasn't Maria-sama with you?
No, she's not. Wasn't she with Aunt Rosa? Okay. Dinner time. Kanon, comes to get, well, Jessica hates #island life. Comes to get, them for dinner. Maria's missing? Isn't she with Rosa? Rosa was lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, having fallen asleep before she knew it. She was bearing a burden that the children couldn't even imagine. That's why she only needed to let her guard down a little, before the weariness immediately dragged her into a world of sleep. Oh no, child abuse apologia. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. When he tried to spread it over her, her eyes snapped open as though she'd been shocked with electricity. Ugh. Thank you, Genji-san. When she realized that the thing that had touched her was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief. Did I wake you? My sincere apologies. No, it's okay. Hadn't planned on sleeping in the first place. What time is it now? When he was asked for the time, Genji checked a pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket. It is slightly after 6. Rosa gave her head a little shake when she realized that not much time had actually passed, even though it felt like she had slept for ages. Uh-oh, I wonder where Maria's gone. Your streams during this time frame are dangerous because I should be getting ready for mine. I'm so invested, Lamau. It'd be like that. Okay, where's Maria gone? Not dinner time yet. First, Rose has to remember she has a child. Yeah, the burden of taking your anger out on your kid. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that had enveloped her must have been pretty deep. Thank you. I'll be fine without the blanket. I mustn't sleep at such a strange time. My sense of time has been completely thrown off. The rain has finally started pouring down in earnest, hasn't it? Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain. The wind's blowing hard, too. I wonder if the typhoon's finally here. That's what they said on TV. The typhoon is moving slowly, so I think it'll be like this all day tomorrow. Really? So, our last chance to see that wonderful rose garden must already have passed by, and you ruined it. And you ruined it, by getting mad at your daughter. She got really tuckered out after attacking the fuck out of her child, yeah. From the window, what she could see of the rose garden was completely blurred out by the wind and rain. Maria. That's right. What about Maria? I have not seen her. Did she not return to the guest house? Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, so a chill ran down her spine. Maria was stubbornly honest, and if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. Even in pouring rain. No. The cousins left before I did, so Maria was alone. Unless someone told her to stop, she'd stay there even if it started raining spears, without even opening an umbrella. How could I have lost control of my emotions and done such a thing? Even though she'd known about Maria's simple honesty better than anyone, she'd once again lost control of her emotions and done something terrible. Maria! Rosa pushed Genji away and ran down the hall. Maria is missing, likely still looking for hashtag her rose. The outside really looked like a typhoon and the rain was pouring down spectacularly. I do love the expression raining spears. They say it a lot. Yeah. This spooky ass song. Maybe because of some aspect of the terrain, the winds weren't typhoon class, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hands. Even so, it was certainly a windy rain. There was no time to admire the roses being drenched. Anyway, I'm getting pretty worried about Maria. You don't think she's still rebelliously searching for that rose alone, do you? I wonder. Surely she wouldn't do it in this rain. Or at least, I wish I could believe that, but Maria-chan sometimes gets really stubborn and intensely straightforward. We hadn't worried much, thinking that Aunt Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, when Kanan-kun had come from the mansion to call us and thought Maria was here, I got a little worried. I did not see her in the mansion, so I was sure she was here. After all, Rosa-sama was taking a nap. You didn't see her on your way over here? My apologies. I opened my umbrella and ran as fast as I could, so I did not pay much attention. If he had cut through the rose garden, taking the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have just barely missed the place where Maria had been looking for her rose. And it was raining this hard, too. It certainly would have been possible for Kanan-kun to fail to notice her. Instead of arguing around here, it'd be faster to just check it out directly. Aniki, why don't we race over there? Oh, do you think you can beat me? Know that you've been growing for 6 years? Okay, let's settle this. Go! I like that the rain gets louder. George, Aniki, and I flew out into the rain. Jessica and Kanan-kun followed us. Maria! If you're there, answer me! Maria! It's Aunt Rosa. Hey! Aunt Rosa! When George Aniki called back, Aunt Rosa jumped at him and grabbed onto him. Where's Maria? Isn't she with you? No, we didn't meet with Maria-chan after that. Maria! 6 years ago, Maria was 3 years old. She was a cute and pure kid who would just accept whatever anyone said. But 6 years have passed since then. She's 9 now and experiencing the ups and downs of life should have taught her something. But Maria, are you telling me you're still as innocent and pure as you used to be? Maria! As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me.
It was a white umbrella. Maria was crouching down, holding a white umbrella and still searching for that rose.
They run into Rosa, who is still looking for Maria. Battler finds Maria with a white umbrella. Still looking for her rose. Her face, which had turned bright red from her crying her eyes out, was dirty with water and mud. It was truly a pitiful sight. Maria! Are you still looking? I can't find it. Can't find my rose. Maria had probably been here since the rain started pouring down. Her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone, but fortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she wasn't completely soaked. The umbrella probably came from the handbag Maria always carried around. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness. Battler-kun! Thank goodness you found her. Maria! I'm sorry, I'm so sorry! Aunt Rosa threw her umbrella aside and hugged Maria. It's not here. My rose isn't here. I'll look for it with you later, okay? So just put it on hold for today, okay? Put it on hold for today. It looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Jessica and Kanan-kun caught up with us. I'll have a towel ready in the mansion immediately. Maria! Were you here this whole time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being such a bad mother. Aunt Rosa, why don't we head back to the mansion for the time being? If we stay here, Maria will catch a cold. You're right. Maria, let's go. If we don't get you cleaned up, Grandfather will be mad. Hungry. It's already time to eat. You did a good job holding out, Maria. Once the weather gets better, we'll all go search together. We couldn't stay in the rain forever. Her umbrella. Smile. Like, who gave that to her? Who gave that to her, right? Like Battler assumes it came out of the bag, but, like, maybe someone gave it to her, you know? We took Maria with us as we headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as worn out as I thought. When she remembered we were having calf steak for dinner, she started chanting, "I'm hungry! I'm hungry!" and returned to her usual spirited self. Sorry for being a bad mother makes it sound like she's fishing for reassurance. Aunt Rosa didn't chide Maria for saying, ooh. I see, so she had an umbrella on her. Maria sure is good at packing the right stuff. I didn't bring an umbrella. What? Then how did you get that white umbrella you're holding? I borrowed it. Some caring person must have brought her an umbrella. A normal kid would look for shelter once it started raining, but Maria was too stubborn to give up so easily. So maybe that caring person gave up on telling Maria to find shelter and decided to at least give her an umbrella. See, I'll have to thank that person. Who was it? Beatrice! The name Maria cheerfully mentioned was that of the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to do so in a way that wouldn't damage Maria's good mood. Really? That's wonderful. So who was it? Who was it? Who brought you that umbrella? Beatrice. Maria immediately realized that her mother didn't believe her and started crying out unhappily again. So Rosa stopped pursuing the subject.
It'd probably be faster to ask whoever lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself.
You're so smart, so the thinker. Not teehee, so this. Is this? This is Kraus, right? Father, please at least join us for dinner. It won't be a family conference otherwise. Along with a dull pounding at the door, the sound of Kraus's entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to be resigned to the fact that nothing it said would be heard. Kinzo-san, won't you at least come out for dinner? All your children have gathered here to see your face, haven't they? Silence, Nanjo! So, the bishop won't work. One move too short. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. Kinzo's brow was wrinkled as he continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Which Maria claims Beatrice gave to her. Um, Kraus tries to get Kinzo, Kinzo to come to dinner, but he's focused on his chess match with Nanjo. Kinzo's brow was wrinkled as he continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Kraus's voice didn't reach his ears. Kinzo-san, I'm hungry myself. Why don't we go down and eat? Go by yourself if that's what you want. Let me consider this next move for a little longer. We are going to finish it tonight. Because the sacrifices are about to start. It's cute that he wants to finish his chess game, though. It's cute. Otherwise, it's doubtful we'll finish before the world ends. Nanjo rose from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess, but he'd never seen Kinzo concentrate as hard as this. Alright, I'll go stream for real and watch the rest on vid later. See you, love you, bye! Dinner scene is important, by the way, lol. It's so cute. Has anyone died yet? Asked in the tone of a parent who keeps asking if this is Pikachu every time you watch any anime ever, because that's all I know. Lamau, not yet, I don't think. It was almost as though Kinzo was telling the truth, and that there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest if they didn't finish tonight. It seemed that no matter how obstinately he called out to Kinzo, it wouldn't reach the latter's heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Kraus was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Kraus was actually taken aback, thinking that maybe Kinzo was actually coming out. However, Nanjo was the one who appeared, and Kraus let out a sigh of relief. Dr. Nanjo, his father... I'm sorry I couldn't be of service. Right now, this room is Kinzo-san's whole world. Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. Kraus raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting. Father, can you hear me? We're heading down now, but please join us anytime you feel like it. All of your children are waiting for you. His voice was very loud, and he was making a racket pounding on the door. There was no way it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. Well, it was certainly reaching him. But he ignored it anyway. However, unlike the time he'd been called down for lunch, he didn't fly into a rage. By now, Kinzo was calm at heart, almost as though he had taken on a philosophical view and turned himself over to fate. Neither dinner nor the faces of my children interest me in the slightest. I will only leave here if Beatrice is resurrected, or if I have chosen as a sacrifice for the key. The demon's roulette has already started spinning. What meaning does dinner have at this point?
As though the painfully loud banging on the door completely failed to enter his hearing, Kinzo silently thought about his next chess move, still in his philosophical state. Just as always, Kinzo's figure couldn't be seen anywhere in the dining hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
Father says he's still not feeling well. He truly regrets missing this once-a-year opportunity to sit together with his gathered family. Ava and Rudolph sniggered. Given Kinzo's personality, there's no way he'd show signs of regret. And none of his relatives showed any regret at his absence. Then why don't we start dinner? Goda, begin.
Certainly. Well then, if you will allow me.
When Goda was told to start the family conference dinner, his biggest time to shine of the year, he nodded with a broad grin.
May I ask who lent Maria an umbrella? When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone noticed. An umbrella? What's this about? A short while back, Maria was in the rose garden when it started raining, and she apparently borrowed a white umbrella from someone. I wanted to thank them.
It wasn't one of us. After you left, we moved to a different room and had a friendly chat that whole time. That's right. Even after that, the siblings had a real friendly chat. The word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips. So even those who hadn't been present could tell the conversation hadn't been a pleasant one. At the very least, it couldn't have been me, Ava, Rudolph, Hideyoshi-san, or Kiryu-san. Hold on. The servants feel the most likely. Rosa asks about who gave Maria an umbrella. Not Kraus, Ava, Rudolph, Hideyoshi, or Kyrie, Battler. Jessica. George, that's his fucking name. Because they are all accounted for. Unlikely to be, Kinzo or Kanan. Because Kanan acted like he didn't know. Kinzo, I think Nanjo is also, unlikely. Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking, right? Cause like the shit that they were saying about like things in the mansion disappearing, lights being on and off when they're not supposed to be. And like And I know this is a thing. This has been a thing. Dude, I don't know. I don't know because I was like, what if they like made that shit up to cover for cuz Kanan and Shannon both fumble a lot at their servant stuff. So like people could have just like made that shit up to cover for them, right? Like you know, like say like they messed up, right? But they're like, no, 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 that wasn't me. Like I that was not me. And they just made Beatrice up to cover for the servants fumbling. Um, dude, aside from it's like all old men except for Kumasawa and Shannon, right? Are there well, who says witches have to be women? Like it could be, it could be. Well, whatever, whatever, whatever. Or maybe Beatrice is real. I don't know. We were together the whole time, even after Natsuhi Nesan. Oh, Natsuhi. Oh, it could be Natsuhi. But I feel like Maria knows these people. She's 9? Do you think someone could be tricked by cosplay at age 9? She believes in it so hard, I don't think it could be that hard. Cause like she believes in it so hard that like I think you could do like a sloppy job and like you could still get away with it. Cause she wants to believe so bad. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. The whole time until the meal started. Nithan went up to the study with Genji to call father. At that time, the rest of us went straight to the dining hall. So it wasn't one of us. Couldn't it have? Yeah. Maybe a servant. Couldn't it have been a servant kind enough to lend an umbrella? So was it you, Goda-san? I could be tricked by cosplay now. See what everyone else has to say. So true, so true. Sorry. I'm getting distracted. I have been in the kitchen the whole time preparing. My sincerest apologies. Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing this chance to show off. At that time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared pushing a serving cart loaded with horse divorce. With horse divorce. Then what about Kumasawa-san or Shannon-chan? Yes? Had something gone wrong? Because Shannon had come in part way, she shrank back, mistakenly thinking that the others were searching for the one responsible for some error. No! No, Shannon! It isn't like that. It started to rain when Maria-chan was alone in the rose garden. After that, someone lent her an umbrella. Aunt Rosa said she wanted to thank that person. Beatrice. Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Aunt Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled. It wasn't us. Shannon-san and I were preparing the rooms together, so we did not go outside. Yes. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be of assistance. And, Shannon and Kumasawa, because they're vouching for each other. Preparing the rooms? What do you mean by that?
Because of the rain, we thought it would be troublesome for all the guests to return to the guest house, so the servants were ordered to prepare the guest rooms inside the mansion.
Okay, okay. Servants were ordered to prepare rooms inside the mansion. Ah, okay, okay, okay. So, see if they were ordered to go outside the mansion, then that would have been more likely, right? Then she could have, like, done it, like, on the way or something. Dude, but all their stuff is in the other place. Kinda sucks. Really? How thoughtful. Yes, it certainly would be rude to chase us outside in this rain. Could you give it a rest? Hideyoshi is tired of his mean wifey.
Yes. After receiving the order from Madame, Kumasawa-san, Kanon-kun, and I started preparing the rooms.
So Kanon's the most sus, but I don't think Kanon's good at lying. I think Kumasawa is the best at lying out of them. I think.
Then it became dinner. Then it became time for dinner, so Genshi-sama ordered Kanon-kun to go to the guest house and summon the children.
And the timing isn't right. The timing isn't right for Kanon because like she had the umbrella probably right after it started raining, or else she wouldn't have been partially dry. Yes. So, did Kanon-kun find Maria on the way to the guest house and hand her the umbrella? Wrong! It's Beatrice! It's literally Beatrice. Can I make it any more obvious? The person who actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she thought asking like this was with everyone gathered for dinner would work immediately. Okay, maybe it's Kinzo. Maybe it's Kinzo. Maybe Kinzo's like maybe Kinzo's like maybe like Kinzo has like a Beatrice altar. That like you know like he got so obsessed with her he started kidding her. Oh right, Natsuhi, real. I forgot about Natsuhi. So true. Sorry. Natsuhi more likely than Kinzo Beatrice alter theory. Beatrice mentioned so true. Society, if he had just lied about having lent her the umbrella, real?
Then was it you, Natsuhi-neta?
I'm sorry. After everyone's friendly chat, my headache was so bad that I have been resting in my room. I don't deny it. Therefore, I do not go outside.
Then who was it? George-kun and the kids? That can't be right. No, it wasn't us. We were watching television in the guest house the whole time.
Actually, we thought Maria had just gone back to the mansion with you.
Then Canon came, and he asked whether Maria was with us. That's when we first realized she wasn't in the mansion. I mean, if it were me, I'd have grabbed her hand and pulled her under a roof before giving her an umbrella.
The eerie music? Yo. Rosa was completely baffled. Cause like here's the thing, right? Like we think Kinzo's been locked up in his study the whole time, right? And like some parts he's alone. And some parts, right? Like Nanjo is with him. But like he could also not be in the study, right? Like you know, the thing is that if people knock on his door and no one answers, it's not sus at all. He's so like mentally ill that they're like, no, this is just normal Kinzo behavior. But then that opens up his fucking alibi, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, he was locked in hashtag his room. But like maybe he's not there at all. Thinking? My chronic pain queen. One by one, the relatives and servants denied that they had done it. even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. So by process of elimination, the number of remaining candidates wasn't large. But what was the epitaph again? Like, what if Maria's the key? In some way. And, maybe someone solved the epitaph and it includes, like, Maria believing in Beatrice, right? And they can't, admit it because then it would, like, let up the game, right? I don't know. Wait, I can't remember the epitaph right now. So by process of elimination, the number of remaining candidates wasn't large. Of course, it wasn't me. Right after it began raining, I visited Kinzo-san's room. Ooh, this is bad, because this means Kinzo kind of has an alibi as well. The whole time? Cause... No, Rosa stormed away. Like, there's like this tiny window where Kinzo might have been able to do it. And I was playing chess with him until just now. Yeah, but could Kinzo get out of his Beatrice cosplay that fast? Which means that it also wasn't grandfather. There's no one. Wait a sec. Isn't this starting to get a bit weird? Who's left? Then, who was it? It's crazy, it's crazy. It's so good that the umbrella is there because, like someone had to do that. Someone had to do that. Kenji-san? Huh? Wait a second, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm searching for some culprit or something. All I want to do is, as a mother, thank the person who gave Maria an umbrella in the middle of the rain. Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. It's literally normal behavior. Maybe it was Beatrice. The umbrella is so good. It's so good. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why not? It's the missing Uminekos. Everyone started whispering about how strange this was getting. Calm down, Rosa. Why don't we just ask the person who has lent the umbrella? That's what everyone had been thinking since the beginning. They were all scratching their heads up why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. It's simple, it's trimple. However, Rosa bit her lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked. Of course! Rudolph-kun here's got it right. Maria-chan, tell your uncle. Who lent you that umbrella? Beatrice! The dining hall was wrapped in silence for an instant. Oh no, don't laugh at her! Don't laugh at her! Oh my god, you all are so mean, don't laugh at her! She's so serious, it was Beatrice! Haha! I see. So, Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest, felt pity and lent her an umbrella. What a lovely story. Rosa? There you have it. Rosa couldn't believe it. Even though she just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella, why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke? Just like Uncle Kraus said. Beatrice let me borrow it. You know, something else I want to ask is, hey Maria, how are you going to return it to Beatrice? I hope someone asked this. I really hope someone asked this. Isn't that wonderful? We should all be jealous of such purity. It's such a good introduction to the mystery because, like, whoever gave her umbrella is obviously important, even if you don't know why, really. What do you think, everyone? Krause was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking, but Maria was overjoyed, apparently convinced that her claim was being believed. How did that work? Did that mean a witch really appeared and lent her an umbrella? Jessica asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me. Has Maria ever been the type to make jokes? If we'd heard that kind of story pop out of my old bastard's mouth, we would have just taken it as another joke. However, it was hard to explain it away like that when Maria said it. This was getting pretty unnerving. No way. She's always been frank and serious. She's the sort who'd believe any joke, even ones normal people could instantly tell were lies. I've never even heard of her cracking a joke. Aunt Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore. So, Maria says she borrowed an umbrella from Beatrice? That must mean it really was Beatrice? The portrait comes to life. I love the portrait comes to life trope, but it just doesn't feel quite right. Cause like I don't know, cause well, the rumors could have existed this whole time, but then someone's using it to their advantage now, right? Like, how convenient that, like, there already is a rumor that, like, there's a witch who fucks things up in the mansion, right? We're talking about Maria here, so I can't think of it as some kind of metaphor or joke. Great point, she did borrow it. It might be best to take what she says at face value. But then what's going on? Are you saying Genji-san or someone put on that fancy dress from the portrait and gave Maria the umbrella? I'm not sure about that. Actually, that's what I want to know. Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression didn't completely match her attitude. Once the horse were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant. And the meal ended up being so quiet that you couldn't ignore the sound of rain sneaking into the dining hall. I love this atmosphere. It's so it's unsettling, but it's so nothing burger, right? And like the nothing burgerness of it is so great, right? Because like you're unsettled, but like you're not quite sure why. I love when things are like that, by the way. Like, okay, sorry, not to talk about my sickos from Durarara, but like I just love how the like romance question mark between Shinra and Salty is depicted in the manga, because even though, right, it's portrayed as this romance, there are just moments in it where you're like, this is romantic, right? Where like your brow is quirked and you're just squinting your eyes. You're like, what is this? What does this mean? Like, what does it mean when the room fills up with smoke from Salty's neck? What does that mean? Is that like a good thing? Like, what does this mean? And I love shit like that where you're like, something is going on, but what on earth is going on, man? The music and the game nails atmosphere always. The music and wind and rain are important. And also, like, when the wind picks up, that often means something important is happening. My sickos, yeah. Kumasawa and Shannon, pushing their serving cart, ran into Genji and Kanan on the way to the kitchen. Oh, it's Genji-san. Did you lend Maria-san an umbrella? An umbrella? What are you talking about? Well, I heard that when it started raining, Maria-sama was alone in the rose garden. It seemed she borrowed an umbrella from someone there, but we don't know who it was. It wasn't me. After all, I actually thought Maria-sama was in the guest house. When Battler first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella. My apologies, but it was not me either. Then, could it actually be the master? Oh, which one? Which one? Sorry. Both in the dining hall and right here, everyone had stated that they hadn't done it. That left only Kinzo, but maybe he went walking down the corridor for some reason when he just happened to see Maria-sama in the rose garden without even an umbrella. The master is not particularly fond of Maria-sama. Really? You would think they get along. They have the same hobbies and everything. You would think they get along.
I agree. I can't imagine that, for Maria-sama's sake, he'd go to all of the trouble of descending the stairs with an umbrella.
Oh my, how troublesome. Does that mean the one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama? Smile! Smile! Oh. Kumasawa-san laughed, just like the relatives in the dining hall who had laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, a crisp sound of hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. They all turned around at once to see Goda coming out of the dining hall. Okay, everyone. When serving a dinner, proper timing while setting the table is essential. Please immediately see to setting out the soup. Genji-san, the women are in the middle of an important job, so please don't get in their way. Ooh, Kanon's pissed! Get his ass! Get Goda's ass! Kanon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Kanon respected. Kinzo isn't fond of Maria. This is so surprising to me, but at the same time, like, I can, in some ways, right? Like, I can, like, you know, it feels like, I feel like it's probably more obvious to him than anyone else that, like, you know, like, it feels like she, like, what if, like, Beatrice likes Maria more than Kinzo, right? Because, like, Maria's always talking about Beatrice, like, she's talking about seeing her, right? And that must make him so mad, right? He's like, how dare you? How dare you show yourself to this little girl, but not me? Me? What about me? What about your specialist little boy, Kinzo? Genji dad moment. Genji, realizing this, patted Kanon once on the shoulder as a warning. Kanon reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal. Obey Goda's instructions. Hurry and prepare the dinner table. Come now. There's no time. Don't dawdle. Hurry. Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and steadily pushed it towards the kitchen. Then, please allow us to return to the kitchen. After all, Goda-san's temper is very short.
Please excuse me as well. Kumasawa and Shannon left. Only Genji and Kanon remain. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt. Genji-sama, did Beatrice-sama really return? I love the word return. Return is so good. Return is so good. It's such a good word. Oh my god. I don't know. Shall I inform the master? That is not necessary. If she truly has returned, she will eventually appear before the master of her own accord. Furthermore, she is a fickle person. It would be pointless to report to the master, only to find that she does not appear. I wonder if this means the master's ceremony has already begun.
Oh, what if I threw up? What if I threw up? They seem to totally understand Kinzo's ceremony and black magic to a greater degree than all the family members. Like, they actually know what's going on. Probably. However, that has nothing to do with furniture like us. We must continue to return the favor we received from the master until our final moments. Yes, that is furniture's duty. The thunder crashed once more. Except for those instants when lightning lit up the sky, nothing could be seen out the window but the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, those that are not human rule when the sun is down. Ooh, oh! The darkness of night that now surrounded Rokenjima. Sorry, that's important. The murders! We're getting close to the murders! I can feel it! So true, the mosquitoes rule the night. Get indoors or get fucked up for real. I know when it's extra fucked up when the mosquitoes get inside. Like, I'm supposed to be safe inside. The darkness of night that now surrounded Rokenjima was ruled by another master, not the Ushiromiya family. Ooh. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and being pummeled by the rain in the rose garden, lending her an umbrella? Kanon looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. I'm still obsessed with the missing rose. I wonder if there's like a dimensional shift happening. Where like they're very two similar physical worlds that like get transposed onto each other, right? Does that make sense? I cannot fucking wait for you to get to the murder scenes. It hits so hard. It hits so hard. Oh my god. The dim lights weren't enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch. And Kanan forced himself to avert his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Can the weather change how people act? You often hear stories about things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. When is a good time to sort of stop, by the way? How long have I been streaming? I don't think I've been streaming that long. Oh god, I've already been going for 2.5 hours. That's crazy. I fear, is this a good place to stop? Wait, I want to keep playing. I'm like, what's going on? What on earth is happening? I think you could stop at any time, TBH. Okay, I want to play a little more. Lol. Everyone had been struggling to clear the gloomy atmosphere, but any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply filled by the sound of rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied by pear sherbet. That sounds really good. Goto-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as soon as this final dish was presented, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent. The weather was horrible, and the identity of the one who'd lent Maria an umbrella remained a mystery. When dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that the taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. Also, is there still a watch party tomorrow? I remember you saying you're preparing for a con. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do the watch party tomorrow. Yeah, I think I think I'm not gonna do that. I will. Yeah, you're right. I should say it in the. I should say it in the. Um, I'm gonna be so sad. I think. Yeah, I think there's still a while, but like we're gearing up, right? There's like a tonal shift now. Night has fallen. The ceremony has started. The rain is falling, right? Like the atmosphere has shifted, right? Um, it's so good. And I think it's so fascinating that I think like the shift happened, right? Like I think the turning point was Maria's rose, right? And it's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. I wonder if it has anything to do with Kanan and Shannon's, or no, it was Shannon, right? Shannon's parents? What if they faked their deaths and are still somehow living on the island? Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. We'll kill him next time. Snaps ruefully. Goto-san, the supposed conductor of this musical piece called Dinner, did his best to enliven the place, dropping little jokes left and right, but apparently not one of them succeeded. After taking orders for after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke. My. What a waste that the dinner Goto worked so hard to create has met with such a gloomy atmosphere. Yes, absolutely. Just feels like nothing would taste good today. Huh. I'd like to know why you feel that way. Later on, I'll do all I can as your older brother to help cheer you up. Aunt Ava grimaced slightly. I'd already heard she wasn't on good terms with Uncle Kraus, but it was pretty clear now. When I looked around, I noticed that my father and Aunt Rosa were also grimacing. Apparently, there was something besides the weather troubling all of them. Both Aunt Ava and my dad aren't looking too happy. Really? I don't think so. I asked Aunt Natsuhi, who was sitting on my right, but she seemed to be in a bad mood as well. She snapped back as if to say she was absolutely not interested. Well, our adult conversation got a little complicated. It isn't something kids like you need to worry about, Battler-kun. Ah, isn't that right, Natsui-san, Kirie-san? Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, without his usual brightness, so I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had become. It goes from silly anime bullshit to real so fast. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kiryu-san, the people he had directed his comment to, ignored him as though they hadn't heard anything. I didn't know what kind of conversation they'd been having while us kids were away, but it reminded me of how Dad said said he had stomach cramps when we arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi's comment was ignored by the other adults, and an awkward silence fell over the room, Kirie-san spoke up. We were talking about how the kids' careers would turn out, such as what lies in your future, Battler-kun. Will you just drift on to college? Me! Wouldn't that be a little disheartening as a starting line for the long race of life? Hey, wait a sec. Kyrie-san, if you start talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it won't digest well and we'll all end up getting constipated. That's right. We were talking about Battler-kun's and Jessica-chan's careers. You gotta start thinking seriously about the future. Ah, Hideyoshi heartily agreed as if they really had been talking about that, but that probably was wrong. Kiri-san had obviously been trying to change the subject. Okay, I'm starting to get tired and like almost like lightheaded because I've been reading too much. I think we leave it off here. Nodding my head. Literally IBS King. So true. Maybe we raid Clef. Honestly, yeah, let's go raid Clef. We ball. Um, yeah, thank you all so much for coming to stream. I'm intrigued. I'm hashtag intrigued. Nodding, nodding, nodding. Okay, I can't wait to stream the Umineko again. I'm so fascinated. Oh my god. Yeah, raid Clef. Okay, I'm actually starving as well. Like when everyone was like saying like, "Oh, I'm hungry." I'm like literally so true. I am also fucking hungry. Thanks for another great stream. I love you. I love you too. Yay, yippee, yay. Yeah, so let's go chill. Let's go chill. Bye-bye. Brings me so much joy that you enjoy it. Yeah.